that worked with dispossessed and poor children who were coming from troubled families. Okay? She believed that God had given her that in a dream. Now she didn't just go off and do it because she had a dream. She went and tested it against Scripture. Now is there anything wrong with helping poor children?
No.
Is there something good about helping poor children in Scripture? Yes. She went and tested it in the church. She spoke to other Christians and said, I feel that God has said this to me. What is your opinion? So she sought out the advice of elders.
I understand that. Okay. And you're in agreement with us? You're in agreement with us by excuse him?
No,
maybe they can. No, because we agree. We agree that if you are... No. So you agree with him, but do you agree with him to screw him? No, I'm not playing against you. No.
It's a game bit.
I get that. Brother, please. You are the one. It's not a bit against one another. I agree with it. You agree with it, by the way.
Do you agree with what I said? If that was me, and I had one of these dreams...
No, ask me that. Do you agree with that?
Do you want me to answer? If I had one of these dreams, exactly like what Bob just said there, and I had this dream, what I would do personally, I would search the Word of God. You're not asking.
I ask you that. Do you agree with definition?
Allow me to
yes or no? I'm not telling you about you as personally.
Yes or no?
Because I agree with that. I agree with it.
Why don't you tell me speak, Shamsi?
It's about a simple yes or no.
Yeah, but no. You tell me what to say and I'll say it if you want.
No, it's not about that. I'm just asking you simply his definition because he jumps in as a savior. Do you agree with him?
If I got that dream, this was me, and I got that dream, what I would do is I would test it against the Word of God, which is what I wouldn't take.
I would not exclude that. So what are we debating then?
I wouldn't take my agreement after my dream. Absolutely not. 100%.
Okay, if it agrees with the Scripture, would you act upon it?
1 second. I would do what the Scripture said. But as I said, the Scripture to me is fine.
That's what I'm saying. So if you have a dream, wait. So do you accept God can speak to you through a dream?
If it was me,
I'm not asking you, I'm saying, can God speak to you through a dream?
If it was me,
I'm not saying that, can God speak to you through a dream?
I would go by the Word of God.
I'm asking you, can God speak to you through a dream?
Let me just address something.
No. He already stated what he believes.
It's only fair that you also answer the same question. And can God,
if it was me, I would take
and just so you know, guys,
just so you know, yes.
Notice they don't. Notice they don't.
No, go. It's okay, go. You can go. You see, that's what I'm saying. That's why, alhamdulillah, Allah brought both to show you that true Christians are on IC.
That's the characterization that they want. That's what they want. They want an argument between Christians on camera.
I'm not asking what would you do.
But what you've just said agrees completely with what I said.
It doesn't. Because you're not asking him, what would you do? I'm asking him, can God speak to you through dream?
But now I want to ask you a question.
Can God speak to you through dream? No, don't change subject. Don't change subject.
Now I want to ask you a question.
No, don't change subject. No, don't change subject.
I want to ask you a question.
No, if you ask me a question, Bob. No.
You came to this
Bob, you came right now as a savior and you are a hypocrite person.
You came
Why you are a hypocrite? You came now and you are a hypocrite. So
always,
the hypocrisy. The guy says
he'll walk away in 5 minutes.
He'll
walk away.
Are you hypocrite? Are you hypocrite?
I have been an hypocrite at times.
Okay, so therefore don't speak to hypocrites.
See, what did I say? What did I say? Walk away. You're a coward.
That's it. Because of waste of time. Bob,
you're a coward, Shamsi. You're a coward.
No, I'm walking off from it.
You came to this park months ago during Eid. You ran to this park and you appeared on TNTS Greek and you said, I've come to speak to Bob about something that he said.
Yes.
So let's talk about it.
You know which one is
Let's talk about it.
You know which one is it?
There were 2 things. One, about the 5 pillars in the Quran. 2, about the errors in the Quran.
No.
So let's talk about it.
Wait.
Let's talk about
wait.
Go on.
No, logically speaking, it's better off to have one for Islam and one for Christianity. Correct? Then second one, no. Do you agree with that?
We'll have one debate each, yes.
No. One about
Islam, one about Christianity.
One about 5 pillars. So both correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
You came to the park before I came to the park. No, meaning when you spoke about 5 pillars of Islam.
Yeah, I was in the park.
And you
came to the park.
That's correct.
Yes.
Your argument was...
So now's your chance to talk to me about
of course, without any doubt, and I'm here to expose you.
Great.
Your argument was, so correct me if I'm wrong, your argument was that Muslims always asking us where Jesus said something, So I'm going to ask you where in the Quran says the 5 pillars of Islam, correct?
Yes.
But your argument is wrong, your premise is wrong.
Go on.
Do you know why?
Go on.
Because we Muslims, when we ask you, where does it say in the Bible which is the Bible contain of what? Correct me if I'm wrong.
will.
The Bible contain God's speech, Jesus' speech, Matthew's speech. Correct?
No, you've misrepresented that.
Okay. Does Matthew speak in his gospel?
You've misrepresented it.
Okay, correct me.
So now let me correct
Okay.
you. The Christian faith gave rise to the Gospels. Now, whether you know that or not, that is a fact, and you can read the Gospels and you can see that clearly. And my argument that I use,
Yeah.
Notice the hypocrisy. Notice the hypocrisy. Immediately.
Hypocrisy.
Notice the
Tell me how I
hypocrisy.
misrepresented
Notice the hypocrisy. Shamsi is always the same.
Bob,
It's always
You know why?
theatrics over
Because Bob,
substance.
you always answer my question.
theatrics over substance.
Bob always doesn't answer my question.
So,
let me deal with him because Christian think he's the savior. I'm gonna expose the hypocrites.
getting
Which he
exposed.
accepts. Okay, now tell me how I'm
So,
misrepresented.
no. Right, so-
No, you stopped me.
No.
No, tell me how
No.
I'm misrepresented.
No, you aren't going to tell me what I'm going to say, Shamsi.
Hold on, you got me.
See? Theatrics
It's in a
over
video.
substance.
Christian, please be honest.
You
Did he
have
cut me
the
or not?
chance to
You
have a
cut
proper
me?
debate
No
with
problem.
me.
No problem. He stopped me, claiming that I misrepresented him.
right
And now,
now,
therefore, he didn't let me
Shamsi.
speak. Now he's not showing how he misrepresented the Bible. Tell me, how did I misrepresent the Bible?
Okay, so Shamsi has an opportunity right now to have a real substantial debate with
Answer the
me.
question. Bob, it's not the court
But
here.
all of
Bob,
it's
it's
got,
not court.
all that he
Bob,
has
this
is
speech is gone
theatrics.
now. It's not.
Why are you
Answer the
delaying?
question.
Right, so
I know you're scared, Bob. Calm down.
no,
Give him
no.
some water. Give him some
if
water.
I was scared, I wouldn't have approached you, but I
didn't
approached
expect
you,
that.
you didn't
You
approach
expect
me.
that. You didn't expect that.
And the times that I've been in the pot, you've avoided me. Now you
No,
can stay
I
and
approach
debate.
you many times and you don't
So,
you don't deal with my subject.
now's your
That's
chance.
why I woke off.
Now
you
is
forgot
your
my chance. Tell me how I'm misrepresented.
So, let's be clear.
Okay.
The argument that I was making, which you quite rightly defined, is the idea.
No, he was speaking.
No.
How did he misrepresent?
See, what is
You cut me.
Do you see?
No.
Theatrics.
Bob, did you cut me?
Theatrics,
Did you cut me?
theatrics,
No,
theatrics.
Ahwad, did you cut me, Bob?
Right, so
No, Bob, did you cut me? Did
allow
you cut
me
me?
to speak.
Did you cut me?
What did I cut you? I said that you misrepresented.
So you cut me.
No,
So tell me how.
misrepresented.
No.
Yes,
I
you
said,
did.
look what I said.
So-
No. Hear me out. Bob, I said the Bible contains God's speech, Jesus' speech, and Matthew's speech in the
Which is a
gospel.
misrepresentation.
So tell me how.
show how.
Show how.
So, right,
leave
in
him
terms of this debate, let us be clear, because I'm not going to answer as Shamsi wants me to answer. I'm going to answer in my own way. Yep. Shamsi,
That's why Shamsi
how long were I
walks
speaking
from
then? 10
there.
seconds? 10 seconds? Shamsi, if you could let someone finish a sentence.
As long as you do with my
There you
question.
go. How long
As
was
long
I
as you do with
speaking
my
then?
question.
2 seconds?
Yeah.
Shamsi.
As long as you do with my question. Yeah.
Shamsi.
Go on.
Right, time him before he interrupted him. So, right, the thing is, if you can actually let someone finish a sentence or a thought,
you
then
can't.
there we go again.
Why is he?
There you go.
No, see, bro. He cut it when he was.
See what I mean?
And he said-
Theatrics over substance.
You said he
Shamsi has the opportunity for his day. Control your accolades.
I've never seen him run away ever. So, you know
It's not about running away.
You're going to be here.
Brother, would you debate crackhead? Would you debate crackhead? Would you debate crackhead? No. Would you debate crackhead?
That's rubbish.
Would you debate crackhead? No, it's not the question. To show you
You
the
see, Shamsi would rather talk to him than to me.
I'm talking to you.
Shamsi would rather talk to him. So it would be lovely. It would be lovely, and I'm sure everyone would agree that it would be nicer if me and Shamsi could debate a topic rather than debate about debating. Would you agree?
No one's debating about debating.
So, Shamsi.
Brothers, everyone keep quiet. The brother, he's showing his hypocrisy, but he's not happy with it. I know, it hurts.
So,
carry on. I know it hurts, carry on.
There we go. So let's stop debating about debating. Let's cut out the theatrics. Let's debate sensibly, which means that he asked me a question and I answered it.
No, I didn't ask you a question.
Yes,
No,
you did. You
I
said,
didn't.
"Is that right?"
No.
That's what you said.
Correct me, and you cut me.
Yes, exactly.
So now tell me how.
You invited me to correct you,
I was correct
and
me.
so I tried to
Yeah,
correct you.
that's it. How
But
am I
every
supposed to-
time that I've
Good
tried to
question.
correct
Yes. Answer my
you,
question.
you have simply interrupted me.
Go ahead.
So,
go ahead. Okay,
now-
give him 2 minutes to show me how I'm
Right,
misrepresented.
can we have a timer?
Yeah, 2
So
minutes.
tell me 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
2 minutes. How I misrepresented him.
2 minutes, 2 minutes. Sorry, Ian. Okay, that was less than a second. Right, so, go. So, this debate has come about because Shamsi made a big theatrical presentation in front of TNTS Greek in which he said, I've run to the park to correct Bob about what he was saying about the 5 pillars of Islam. And he rightly explains the reason why I go around and make that argument. Because Muslims go around demanding of Christians that we show clear texts for the things that we believe. It can't be vague. It can't be something that you take one verse from here and another verse from here and you put them together and then you come up with your doctrine. No, it's got to be a parenthesis statement that's very clear, very explicit and complete. Now, Muslims don't have that in their Quran. Muslims cannot show me the 5 pillars of Islam in the Quran. Now, he went on to say that a red herring question, because Shamsi uses them a lot, about the Bible, about that it has God's words, Jesus' words and Matthew's words. But the fact is we Christians believe Jesus is God, so the distinction that he makes is in error. That's the things that he was wrong. It's not even close. So, you've made this great demonstration of coming here and wanting to debate me about the 5 pillars. Now's your chance. Let's debate the 5 pillars of Islam and how they are not in the Quran. They are simply something that later Muslims constructed for themselves. They constructed it while taking some parts and including and taking other parts and leaving them out of the 5 pillars. Let's debate that, Shamsi, because you said that you wanted to.
Remember, you said that's the reason, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, why Bob doesn't like me to debate him, because I cut him. You know why I cut him? Because I expose him. While we were speaking to Bob, Bobby said, let me show you how you misrepresented. Do you remember that? Are you Muslim? You're not Muslim. Alhamdulillah. He's a non-Muslim. He remember. He said, give me time to explain how I did misrepresented the Bible. Bear in mind, my man, I gave him 2 minutes. He never showed us how he misrepresented it. So now let me show his contradictions. He said to the people and addressing me that Shamsi made mistake when he said the Bible contained God's speech and Jesus' speech. Jesus' speech is God. But hold a minute. So now you shoot yourself in the foot. So when Jesus said the Father is greater than I, who's that God speaking?
This is your 2 minutes.
Remember, question. I had a question. I want to ask the question. So now I'm going to show you the hypocrisy. So when Jesus was speaking, because they said no, that was Jesus. So when Jesus, he said, I don't know the hour, was that God speaking? Because he just stated clearly to the audience here and addressing me that there's no difference between Jesus' speech and God's speech, correct? So when Jesus said, I don't know the hour, was that the Father speaking or was someone else? Okay? When Matthew was saying something happened to Jesus, was that Jesus or Matthew? Everyone knows the Bible contained the Father's speech, God's speech, Jesus' speech, the disciples' speech, and who? And the gospel writer's speech. So it's illogical for him to come and just ask us to use the Quran. While the Quran clearly said to us to follow Prophet Muhammad teaching, clearly. But in the Bible, Jesus never said follow Paul. So my question to you, again, can you explain to me how I did misrepresent you when I said the Bible contained God's speech and Jesus' speech? Right? And also, can you answer? You said God's speech and Jesus' speech are same.
Okay. There we go. Now a proper debate.
You like it?
Now a proper debate. So let me just explain to you why I disagreed with his term, God's speech, Jesus' speech. Because in his mind, and in the minds of many Muslims, there is a distinction between Jesus, who is a prophet, and God. And so when he says God and Jesus, he is asserting a distinction that I do not recognize. To be fair, I will correct him. Notice interruption.
I'm not interrupting. I'm asking
Notice
him.
interruption.
I'm asking him.
Theatrics all the time.
I'm asking him.
There we go. Stop my time. When you're ready, Shamsi.
Yeah, you can speak. I'm asking him.
You ready?
I was born already, alhamdulillah.
Okay.
I was born already, don't worry.
Please. Thank you very
Go on.
much.
Give me 5 seconds. Go on.
Okay, so the distinction is a false one. The Bible contains the words of the Father, the words of the Son, and the words of the Gospel, the Apostles, Matthew, Peter. Now, for us as Christians, we have a different understanding of revelation than the Muslims. For us, this is not a problem. And this is a game that the Dawah team play all the time. They take what is basic Orthodox Christianity and then try to present it as if it's a problem. Or at the end of the day, we're happy with the Bible how it is. So, when Jesus said, no one knoweth the hour but the Father, whose words were they? They were the words of Jesus. They were not the words of the Father. However, the debate that he wants to run away from is the debate about the Quran and the 5 pillars of Islam. And notice how Shamsi wants to get off it as soon as possible. So I will ask Shamsi a question. And this is my question.
No, you haven't asked him a question though.
So, you see he's interrupted again.
Okay, go on.
No manners. No manners because his religion has failed him. Yeah.
Generosity of Prophet Muhammad, give him 2 more minutes more.
No, the start. I'm going to wait 5 seconds, then I'm going to continue.
Right, go. So, my point to you is this. Muslims say that the Quran is the source of their religion. They demand of us as Christians that we have clear texts for our beliefs in the Bible. Therefore, it is fair of me to demand of Muslims a similar standard. I would start by asking Shamsi this question.
Nah, give him 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I don't want him to full minutes.
My question, and I'm finished.
Go on.
So my question is this. To become a Muslim, Muslims have to say a certain phrase, a specific phrase. I want him to show me that in the Quran, where it is commanded that that's what you have to do, and where the formula of the words is given. Please.
Okay, now, if you notice, he hasn't answered my question. Rather, he did answer it, and then he did not contradict himself. Do you remember what he said? He said Jesus' speech and God, there's no difference. The same thing. So my question was to him, when Jesus said, I don't know the hour, was that God speaking? Was that God speaking or someone else?
This is your 2 minutes.
So that's my question, because I haven't answered it, so I don't want to go off topic. And our topic, first of all, in any debate, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, we have to lay down a foundation. If the foundation is not clear, we cannot jump to the branches. That's why, there's the foundation first. The foundation is that the Muslims, when they come to the Christian, they never ask, show me where the Father said. They shall show me in the Bible, which contains what? Father speech, Jesus speech, disciple speech, and the gospel writer speech. Okay? So logic dictates, if it's just and fair, he will say, you know what? In our Bible there's 4 authorities. So now, can you show me from your sources 4 authorities about the Shahada? That's what logic dictates, correct? Even though we know Jesus never said in the Bible, I would challenge him, follow who? Paul. He never said follow who? Matthew. Follow who? Luke. None of them, he said, okay? But they still believe his authority. Now his question about the 5 pillars of Islam. Of course, there is a 5 pillars of Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran about those who believe in Allah and believe his prophet. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, those who establish the prayer and give his zakat. 4. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, it's upon the Muslim to do Hajj. That's 4 now. And Allah said, it's been obligated upon the Muslim to fast the month of Ramadan. 5 pillars. Also in the Quran, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, in the Quran clearly Allah said, follow Prophet Muhammad.
Time.
I haven't finished the point. Can I finish the point? Okay. Allah said follow Prophet Muhammad. Allah never said follow only Quran. The Quran tells me to follow Prophet Muhammad. Logic dictates what? Whatever Prophet Muhammad said, we have to accept it. That's it. You've been destroyed, Bob, man.
Thank you. So, ready? So, ladies and gentlemen, notice that he didn't actually answer my question. And notice that he wanted to change the subject as quickly as possible. The real question was this. Show me where in the Quran it commands Muslims that they have to say a certain set of words to become a Muslim.
Okay.
I do not dispute that Muslims must believe in Allah and that they must also believe in Muhammad. I'm not here to dispute that. That's obvious. But Muslims must also believe in the Judgment Day, and they must also believe in jihad, and they must also believe in the paradise. They must also believe in the former prophets. They must also believe in the books. So, bearing in mind that Muslims must believe in all of these things, why do we not have in the Quran a very clear statement about which words you must say to become a Muslim? Bearing in mind that Muslims in the park consistently demand clear text from Christians. This is not my standard. This is the standard of Muslims in the park. I am merely applying it to their own religion. Now he says that the Quran teaches that you have to follow Muhammad and follow Allah. No problem with that. But where is the idea of hadiths in the Quran? The Quran says this in Surah 6:19. Say what thing is most weighty in evidence? Say Allah is witness between me and you. This Quran hath been revealed to me by inspiration, that I may warn you and all whom it reaches. Whom it reaches, not the hadiths. Now, if the Quran is supposed to be the guidance for mankind,
2 minutes.
let me finish my point, just like you did. Where then in the Quran does it give the Shahada, that you must give a Shahada, and the formula of words that you use?
Okay. Have you noticed, ladies and gentlemen, and by the way, how long are we going to take? We're going to do ourselves.
Till you walk away,
I'm about to walk, but you're going to say it till tomorrow?
if necessary.
Well, I have a class, you know.
Well, you got to pray.
You when you want to go.
We went praying.
I'm going to say my thing, then you say your thing, then we make a conclusion.
He's running away. What was that?
We'll just repeat the same
What
thing.
was that? 10 minutes?
10 minutes
We're
only.
going to debate all
Why
day.
not? Why not? Why not?
Shamsi's running away.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not?
Let's do an hour.
Why not?
No,
1 hour. 1 hour.
Yeah, no.
yeah.
Use this as well. Remember we agreed, one about our Islam subject, then about Christian subject as well.
No, we didn't. We agreed that there would be two debates.
Yeah,
Not that
one
they would
about-
run simultaneously.
Sheraton.
Yes, well, after one another. The first
Yeah,
one is about the
خلاص,
Quran.
this one is going to finish all day.
So.
Let me deal with it. Stand. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, when I clarified to him that in the Quran says to believe in 5 pillars of Islam, what he became Qur'ani. Now he wants to teach us that we should follow the Sunnah. But again, he never dealt with my point. I said, if you are fair and just, when we as a Muslim ask you the question, we are asking you a question from 4 authorities in the Bible. We're asking you Father's speech, God's speech, Jesus' speech, disciples' speech, and the gospel writer's speech. So there's 4 authorities. But you are asking us just one authority, which is the Quran. But guess what? Within the Quran, it tells us clearly, explicitly, to follow the Prophet Muhammad. Allah said the Quran is not befitting for the believer, male and female. If Allah legislates something, and the messenger, who again? The messenger legislates something to have another opinion. And the messenger of Allah clearly said that Islam is being built upon 5 pillars. And in order for you, the first pillar is the Shahadatan. No Paul, no Abu Bakr, no Umar, no Hassan al-Basri, Prophet Muhammad, who Allah said explicitly in the Quran to follow his teaching. Allah said in the Quran that Muhammad does not speak from his own desires. He speaks from the revelation. What's that? Yeah, Islam has been built 5 pillars. Prophet Muhammad said. Now, first of all, let me give many verses within the Quran explicitly, clearly says to follow Prophet Muhammad. Allah said, obey Allah, obey the messenger. Allah said, if you differ, if you differ, we are different in anything. Refer it to who? To Allah and to who? To his messenger. Me and Bob, we are different about the 5 pillars of Islam. We go back to who? Allah said, go back to Quran, to Prophet Muhammad. The question, the 5 pillars. Prophet Muhammad said, Islam is being built 5 pillars. Shahadatan, the prayer, zakat, and the rest of 5 pillars. I answered the question clearly.
Okay, so,
Alhamdulillah.
so we'll come to what the Quran actually says. Quran says in Surah 77, Ayah 49 and 50, woe that day to the rejectors of truth. Then what hadith message after that will they believe in? So it's saying that after the Quran, what will you believe in?
Don't lie.
The message. What
the message.
Notice the interruption.
Don't lie.
Stop my time. Start it again.
There's a Quran. It's a Quran.
Notice the interruption.
You
said Quran. I said it's a hadith.
He said Quran. He said.
Okay.
The message.
It's a hadith, though.
Yes,
What
hadith.
message? What message?
No, the message means speech.
What message? What
Anyway,
truth?
But remember, Bob, he's cutting Bob. It's a Christian.
Why are you interrupting?
It's Bob.
You're
Bob,
interrupting.
Paperboy, I mean.
You're interrupting.
Some cartoon here.
You're interrupting.
Paperboy.
Could you stop my time again?
Who is Hammer Simpson?
I'll wait for him to finish.
Hammer Simpson here.
Notice with Shamsi, it's always theatrics. Always theatrics. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes, ladies and
brothers and sisters, copying from the best. So what we have is that Muslims demand of us clear statements about our beliefs. I have asked Shamsi to show me where it says that to become a Muslim you have to say the Shahada. And secondly, I have asked him to show me where in the Quran it gives those words. Now please Shamsi, the next time you quote the Quran, like the verse that you gave earlier about the 5 pillars, give me the reference so we can look it up. Okay? So we can pull it up. Now, the Quran states that what message, and the word there in Arabic can also be translated as hadith. After that, what is the that? It is the truth of the message of Islam in the Quran.
Not just Quran, not just... Let him speak. Okay,
will they believe in the hadith? The idea, notice his interruption again. The hadiths are the source of Islam. The Quran is used to construct things in exactly the same way that we Christians used to construct our own beliefs. So Shamsi is exposed as a man who works by double standards because he demands of Christians a level of evidence that he himself cannot work to. I would ask Shamsi then, since he doesn't want to answer the Shahada question.
I did.
You haven't. I'll state it again for you. Show me in the Quran where it says you have to say certain words to become a Muslim, and then where it shows what those words are. You haven't answered that question. Let me do another one. Show me in the Quran where it gives you the percentage that you pay in zakat. This is basics Islam, people. It should be in the Quran.
Finish. First of all, we see clearly that we are going around the circle. I answered this question many times. I said to him, let me correct you. Let me correct you.
Which passage?
Bob, let me correct you first before. Your argument to be valid if the Muslims were going around asking you only to show us where the Father said it. Yes, your argument to be okay. Because you be asking, hold a minute.
No, that's wrong.
No. Stop interrupting.
Wait, it's wrong now. It's wrong now.
I apologize though. Anyway. So again, his argument will be valid if the Muslim are going around asking, show us where the Father stated it. But the Muslims are asking from the Bible, which contains how many authorities? 4 authorities. Again, Bob, you get to the point or not? Your argument is valid if we ask you only the Father, but we're asking you, the Bible contains 4 authorities. Because what we have to understand, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, when Jesus was teaching, he never carried the Bible, which Paul is carrying. Paul is committing bid'ah. It's innovation, Paul. Jesus' teaching was not enough. You carry a Bible which he never carried. Okay? So why you carry a Bible which contains speech of Matthew?
This is the Quran Bible.
Okay, but you see here with them. Okay. Well, my point here is that so your argument will be valid, yes, if we have a one authority. Again, in the Quran clearly stated to follow Prophet Muhammad, and the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he said Islam is being built upon 5 pillars. So if you want me to follow the Quran is telling me to follow who? Prophet Muhammad. So what do you want me to do now? Bobby has bipolar. Like who? Jesus. He didn't know if he was God or man. One day he's good, one day he's a man. I forgive him for that. I overlook. Anyway, I'm not gonna go around circle. I finished with it. Now the zakat is mentioned by Prophet Muhammad as well, even in the Quran clearly. So now let us deal with the Christianity.
Okay, so
I clarify.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear
ladies and gentlemen.
what brought me here. What brought me here? Notice the interruption. Stop my time.
Yeah, خلاص I finished. Yeah, I finished. Yeah, خلاص I finished. Take out stuff.
See, he runs away. He runs away.
It's not about Christianity.
He runs away. He runs away.
If I run away, I stay for everyone. Look.
He runs away.
We just go around the
Shamsi
circle.
came running to the park to debate me. He did, I saw him. Notice they're walking away. I've got 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. No, run away. Shamsi.
No, paper boy, listen. I spoke to him.
You came to the park. You came to the park. You made a presentation.
I dealt with your point.
You haven't dealt with my point.
Okay.
No, you haven't dealt with
You're
my
not happy
point.
with it.
You haven't dealt with my
I'm
point.
leaving then.
You haven't dealt with my point. Yeah, he's running away. He's running away. No, don't let him get away. Shamsi. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear.
Stay here.
Let's be clear.
You're
You're a coward, Shamsi. You just theatrics, mate. You went to the park with this presentation about wanting to have a debate with me, and then when you have the chance, you run away.
If I ran away, I was left. Look,
No,
let's leave. I didn't.
Shamsi, look, you didn't tell you. Why are you scared to let me speak, Shamsi? Why are you scared? Why are you scared, Shamsi? There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The master of the Dawah team running away from another debate. And let me explain why this is important. I'll tell you why. It's because Muslims come to this park, they find Christian tourists, and they demand that Christians have clear proof texts for all of our beliefs. That is what they do. That is the principle that they're working to. That is the basis. Oh, he's back now. He's back now. He's back now. No, you wait, Shamsi. Wait. So, the fact of the matter is, when Muslims create a principle by which they judge Christian beliefs, it is fair, proportional, and just that we should take those same principles and judge their religion by them. And when we do, we find that Islam fails. Muslims demand of Christians clear proof texts for all of our beliefs. They demand one passage that shows the Trinity in clarity and completely. That's the principle they demand of us. They demand where Jesus says clearly, I am God, worship me. That's the principle they work to. So we can do the same to their Quran by demanding that the very basics of Islam, the 5 pillars of Islam, should be there clearly, completely, and without vagueness. And what do we find when we test the likes of Shamsi? He has got nothing. He's firing blanks, and he entertains himself with theatrics rather than substance. We find that Muslims build their idea of the 5 pillars from taking references over here in the Quran, and 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 bringing them together. But when we Christians do exactly the same for our belief in the Trinity, they say that this is invalid. So if it's invalid for us, it's invalid for them. If it is a valid way of reasoning for them, it is a valid way of reasoning for us. Now, Shamsi. Now, Shamsi.
I'm a Christianity now.
Oh, no.
No, I'm a Christianity.
So,
you're finished. No,
10 minutes. We'll give you 10 minutes.
No, 5 minutes. 5 minutes enough.
5 minutes.
Okay. Remember, we spoke about the 5 pillars of everything. We're going around the circle. It's enough anyway.
You spent half your time talking about Christianity.
No, but all the time coming to me, alhamdulillah, by praise be to Allah. There's many Christians here become Muslim.
There's many Muslims here who have become Christian.
We have them.
Is it a lie?
Bob the liar!
Is it a lie?
Bob the liar!
Is it a lie? No. the video. Stop lying. I know it hurts, Shamsi. I know it hurts, Shamsi. There are many Muslims becoming Christians, bro.
Can you
Many
show us one
Muslims.
video?
Yes, look on Soko
Oh,
film.
look, Soko.
Look on Soko film.
Show us a video when a Muslim in the park became a Christian.
No.
That's what I said.
No.
That's it.
Become a Christian. But they have become
How many
Christians.
Christians
That
have
is
become
valid.
Muslims?
That's valid.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Okay. Now, Bob.
On a technical point.
Okay,
you're
Bob.
right.
Now I want to discuss 5 minutes because I have to leave. Bob, you believe God is perfect?
Yes.
Well, you have to think about it.
Well, I'm just wondering how you're going to define perfect, but I think we probably
Does
are.
God make mistake? Perfect, perfect.
Does God make a mistake?
No, God doesn't make mistakes.
No, God doesn't
yeah,
make
that's what it is. Okay, God is perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Does God change His nature?
Does God change his nature? No.
No. Okay.
What is his nature, Shamsi?
Okay, His nature to be perfect.
No, that's not his nature.
What is His nature to be imperfect?
No, his nature is love.
So God is love, just love.
No, there's more. There's more attributes.
Okay. Okay. Is His nature to know everything?
No, that is an energy of his nature.
What?
Yeah, you see, the thing is, Shamsi,
Are you-
you're trying to debate me about Christian theology, but you don't know it.
No.
You're arguing against the God of the philosophers, not the God of Christian
Yeah, the God of
theology.
philosopher, yeah. Because show me where Jesus said. Watch this. Show me where Jesus said, knowledge of God it comes from His energy.
So, hold on one second.
Go on.
Hold
from
on
the
one
Bible.
second.
I like you follow the Bible,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
You follow the Bible.
So, as Christians,
I'm asking you, show me where in the Bible.
as Christians, you don't get to define my faith.
I'm just asking you a question.
Yes.
Because you keep asking about the
Notice,
Quran.
these are your 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes.
These are your 5 minutes.
go on.
Don't waste them.
I'm not wasting them. I'm
With
just asking
theatrics.
questions.
If
Okay,
you
ask
want
me my
to
question.
debate Christian theology,
Go on.
let us do it properly.
Okay, go on.
The nature of God is light, spirit, love. There are other attributes to his nature as well.
Okay.
Knowledge is something that as we, human beings, it exists within the created order. Knowledge is a created thing.
I'm talking about knowledge of God.
Knowledge of God is a created.
Before God was created, before God created creation.
You don't understand Christian
No,
theology.
I'm just asking you. Correct me.
Yeah, I'm
Before
going
God, do you believe God knowledge was created?
No, God's knowledge was not created.
That's what I'm saying.
But our knowledge of God is created.
Our knowledge. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about knowledge of God. God's knowledge.
God's knowledge?
Yes.
No, it's not created.
He knows everything all the time. Correct?
Our knowledge of what he knows is a
I'm
created.
not asking you that, Bob.
Yes.
Bob, it's a simple
He
question.
knows things.
Everything
yes,
all the time.
yes,
Correct, Bob?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I know where you're going.
Okay. You believe God?
Yes. Yes.
He's greater than anything.
Yes.
Greater than anything.
Yes.
Okay, so when God, you believe Jesus before he became a baby was God, correct?
Yes, God became a man. We believe that.
He
You
became a
know
baby.
we believe
No,
that.
I'm just asking you, follow us up, please. Don't I know.
Yeah.
So when God became a baby,
Yes.
was he a baby before?
No.
So when he became baby, did he change?
Not his nature, no.
Okay, so is God nature a baby?
But his nature is not his knowledge.
I didn't ask you that. My question
that's
is...
that's where you're going wrong.
No.
You're
no,
saying-
no, I'm
you're
asking you.
saying-
No, Bob, I'm asking you.
You're
You
saying-
said, no, Bob.
What you're saying,
Bob, I didn't
what
answer
you're
that.
saying, you're
Bob,
trying to
what's in my
define
mouth?
the nature of God by his
Bob.
knowledge.
Bob, no, I didn't
We
ask
don't
you.
believe
I
that
just
as
mentioned that.
Christians. We
Bob,
don't
I'm
believe that.
mentioning it clearly. You said God was not a baby. Then he became a baby.
Yes.
Did he change?
His nature did not change.
Okay, is God nature?
What is his
okay.
nature?
Is God nature?
What is his nature?
Why Christian? Why Christian? Why Christian jumping?
Oh, now it's wrong.
No.
Now it's wrong.
No.
When his acolytes do it, it's fine.
Listen, is God nature to be smaller than Mary, none of the womb, than Mary's vagina?
That is a stupid question.
No, it's not. I'm
stupid.
asking you a question now. Is God nature?
Because you believe Satan can fit in his nose.
Paper boy, don't jump.
It's all right.
Is it
It's all right.
Satan? Not God. Okay, not God.
It's all right.
Paper boy, Bob, the question, let me repeat again. Is God nature to be smaller than a woman's vagina?
Okay, can I respond now?
Yes.
Okay. Let me explain to everyone why this is a silly question. Let me explain why this is a silly question. Shamsi, it is a silly
Because if
question.
it's at the woman's vagina,
he doesn't want to hear the answer.
Listen to the answer.
He doesn't want to hear the answer.
Listen.
He doesn't want to hear the answer.
You're a free man now.
He doesn't want to hear the answer. He doesn't want to hear the answer.
You're a free man, remember?
Shamsi, you have asked a question.
Yes.
He has asked a question.
I'm sorry for
Listen
the
to the
audience.
answer.
I'm in the woman private part.
Listen to the
stupidity
answer.
of Christianity.
Listen to
Woman
the
private
answer.
part, yeah.
Listen to the answer,
Go on.
Shamsi. Okay, here's why it is a stupid question. If I take...
Why do you tell him to
Notice the
He jumped in.
interruption.
He's jumping in. He's jumping in.
Notice.
Be fair.
Do you want to
He's
hear my
jumping in.
answer or Shamsi's monologue?
He's jumping in.
Do you want to hear my answer, Shamsi? Okay, so just as Shamsi ended the debate, I'm going to answer the question clearly and completely, fully, and then I'm going to stop. So, Shamsi asked the question, is it in God's nature to become smaller than a woman's private?
I didn't ask the question. No, that's not the question.
Okay, restate your question.
My question is God nature to be smaller than a woman's private part?
Okay, let me answer that. The reason why that is a stupid question is a stupid
That's not the
question.
answer. That's not the
See?
answer.
It doesn't want.
Yes or no?
Doesn't want to hear.
Yes or no?
Doesn't want to
If
hear.
it's stupid, no. Say no.
When
If
you're
it's
ready.
stupid, say
When
no.
you're ready, Shamsi.
If it's stupid, say no.
When you're ready.
Okay, is it yes or no?
Can I answer?
Okay, yes or no?
Okay. So the reason why it's a stupid
I
question.
ask you if it's stupid. I'm asking you.
The
Yes or no?
reason why it is a
Is it
stupid.
yes or no?
Why?
Why doesn't he want to
I
hear?
walk off from him because he doesn't answer my questions.
So the reason
yes
why
or
it
no?
is a stupid question. If I take H2O, what is the substance of H2O? It is its chemical compound. If I stick H2O into a square cylinder or into the vastness of the ocean, does the
H2O,
nature change? No, it does not. Now, this.
That's not the answer of my question.
This.
That's not the answer of my question.
Notice he doesn't want to answer the question.
Okay, no problem.
Now, obviously, this is an analogy. The nature of God is far more than water. However, the fact of the matter is, the substance of a thing does not change depending on where that thing is. H2O is H2O in whatever state it exists. The nature of God does not change by becoming a man. The problem with Shamsi's logic...
That was not my question.
The problem with Shamsi's logic is he thinks that our belief about God is defining God's nature by his knowledge. We do not do that. That is not what we do.
Okay, now we finish. Now,
done. Have a good day.
No.
The hypocrisy. No, hypocrite. He's a hypocrite. So now let's go back to Islam. No, I gave you. Let's go back to Islam. Let's go back to Islam.
It's my time to speak. I said 5 minutes. So for the people out there, I know Bob is
I've
going to
given you
listen.
more than 5
I'm using it
minutes.
as a bridge. I'm using it as a bridge to cross to you. And my question was to Bob. God nature, is it smaller than the woman private part?
It's a silly
Instead of yes
question.
and yes or no, he
not
said it's a silly
quantifiable
question. So if
It's not quantifiable
Can I
like
speak?
that.
Why you can't?
What?
I know you don't
You're
want
all right
to
when you
do
do it.
You don't
You're all right
let
when
me
you do it.
You don't let
It's no.
You don't let me
Deal with what
Let me
Christians
speak.
believe.
Let me speak.
Not
Yes,
your
let me speak.
characterization
Now, let me speak.
of what
Let me
Christians
speak.
believe.
Let me speak.
We Christians
Okay, see.
do not believe
He's
that
dead.
God's nature can be quantifiable spatially. We don't believe
He's
that.
scared of me.
So his
He's scared of me
argument
speaking.
is a
He's
straw
scared of me
man.
speaking.
So now
I'm
go on.
shouting.
Now go
So
on.
now the Christian believe. The Christian believe
Oh, go on.
that
This should be
Jesus,
good.
God became a man. Is
Yes.
that correct? Yes.
Yes.
He became a baby, correct?
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
Likewise, the Christian believe God nature does not change, correct?
Correct.
So my question
Yes.
is God nature to be smaller than the woman private?
Stupid question.
Let me finish. The woman private
It's a
part.
stupid
The
question.
woman private part. Of course, I agree with him. It's a
You're
stupid
embarrassing
question. What?
yourself, Shamsi.
Can I speak? Can I speak?
Yeah, you interrupt me plenty, mate.
So is that okay to
So,
But it's wrong. Okay, I was wrong. I was wrong.
Right, okay, so when I speak, don't interrupt.
No.
Okay, go on.
So now, I agree with him. It's a stupid question. Why?
Thank you.
Because it's based upon...
I win.
And let me finish. Because it's based upon a stupid belief.
But that's not our belief. Walking away! Walking away! So ladies and gentlemen, let me explain to you why Shamsi's question is stupid. For his argument to work, we Christians must believe that God's nature is defined by some spatial limit. We Christians believe no such thing. God can be loci in a particular place, at a particular time, in a particular space. We believe that. So we have no problem with the idea that God can become a man. But let me expose Shamsi's hypocrisy. Because in the Quran, it states that on the day of judgment, that those in paradise will be glad to see their Lord. That's what the Quran says. So now let me ask every Muslim, sorry bro, is vision a created thing? If vision is a created thing, and the Quran says that you will look towards your Lord, then your Lord has entered into his creation. That's what your Quran says. So if your God can enter into creation in your book, why do you have a problem with God entering into creation in our book? Perfect. Go and check that one out. I'll give you the reference. Surah 75, Ayah 22. Some faces that day will beam with brightness and beauty. Listen to the next bit. Looking towards their Lord. Description of vision. Vision is a created thing. That means that Allah has entered his creation. So why is it a problem if the Bible teaches that God has entered into his creation? Once again, Shamsi works to double standards, and so do the Muslim apologists and polemicists working in the park. Brothers and sisters, we Christians believe in a God who loves this world enough that he would enter into it. Allah is a distant God, a foreign king who does not care enough about his creation and only sends viceroys to speak on his behalf. I ask you, which is a more noble a king? A king who would humble himself and speak to you in person, or a king so beset with his own prestige that he would never speak to you in person and only speak to you through messengers? You have a choice about what God you believe in, and I think it is self-evident about which character of God is better. The God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, the God Yahweh, or Allah's God, Muhammad's God, a foreign God, unknown to any of the prophets of Israel. Perfect. I leave that choice with you.